Hey folks, how are things? It's nice to have you back on my YouTube channel, where I will show you once again how to make money by trading on the stock exchange. So do watch this video up to the end. In the description below this video, you will find a link to my Telegram channel, where you can ask me any questions you have. Besides, you will find a link to my private Telegram channel, where I share my daily trading signals. Send me a direct message in my private Telegram channel and get my personal link for PocketOption registration, which will give you a 50% bonus on your deposit. And now, let's go to PocketOption and let's get going. We go into the trading room and see an open chart of quotations. The exchange currency pair for today is the Australian dollar Japanese yen. The time frame is 30 seconds. Also, I already have 3 indicators open: the Donchian channel, the Williams percent range and the Arun. As I mentioned before, the Donchian and the Arun are trending and the Williams percent range is an impulse indicator. But let's start trading and open a trade to move lower. Today, during the entire trading session, the transaction amount will be constant and will amount to $300, and the expiration time is 1 minute. Now I will explain my decision. Look, after some sideways movements of quotations, accompanied by strong fluctuations, as can be seen from the shadows of the candles, the price is trying to grow once again. But the Williams percent range line at the same time, yes, crosses the -80 level, but it does it very smoothly, which is not typical of the indicator with sharp price change. From this, I concluded that the growth is temporary and will not last long. Then, the Arun is configured today so that the blue line shows an uptrend and the red line is responsible for a downtrend. And if its red line is near the level of 100 and the blue line is at 0, then this is a clear signal of a downtrend. Look, yes, that's what happens, and I get the first $270 for today. Do you think it would be possible to make such a decision if I worked with only one of the indicators open here? My opinion is unlikely to be true, and even though Arun had the clearest signal for a decline in quotations, when working with it alone, I would not have such confidence in the trade. But let's continue. I'm opening a trade to move lower for $300, expiration is 1 minute. The situation here is more complicated than in the previous trade, but I give it a try. What we have seen is that the price starts alternately an impulse decline, then an upward correction. At the moment of entering the trade, there was just a downward movement while the price tried to push the lower limit of the Donchian indicator. But the sellers had little strength. The movement of the candle resembled the movement of the last descending candle. And on these data, waiting for a correction, I opened a trade. This time I did not take into account the Williams percent range and their own data, since they said the opposite. And as we can see, I did not take their data into account. The price makes the correction I expected and it's growing steadily. At the same time, the transaction time is being completed and I don't think anything can go wrong, but look, that's it, I get another $270 profit. Waiting for the question why I did not take into account the signals of the 2 indicators at once, I will answer. The indicators show data based on mathematical calculations. And unfortunately, the signals may be false, and in order not to make a mistake, it is necessary to analyze the entire data array in aggregation. And now let's try to open another trade on the movement below, also for $300, expiration is 1 minute. I will explain my decision. Already at the opening of this candle, the Williams percent range line began to deviate from the vertical movement, thereby giving a signal of the possible beginning of a reversal. Or more precisely, the continuation of the downtrend, which we can see on the chart, has already existed for 13 minutes, and our time frame, let me remind you, is 30 seconds. At the same time, the red line of the Arun indicator was between the levels of 70 and 100, and the blue line was again near 0. And this is a signal, as you remember, about the continuation of the downtrend. But that's not all. The price has reached a certain level during the correction, which it could not overcome for 4 minutes, despite several attempts. The time of the transaction is coming to an end, and this is it. Another $270 has replenished my balance. As you could see, I was right again and correctly interpreted the entire set of data that I could see in the PocketOption trading floor. But what needs to be done is also see the signals on the indicators and then correctly and timely apply them in trading. I often hear such a question, and the answer is simple. For this you just need to watch the quotes and for as long as possible. But let's continue trading and open another trade to move lower for $300. Expiration is 1 minute. What nonsense you can think about my trade, but I'll explain. Despite the growth of quotations, the Williams percent range line began to deviate and occupy a horizontal position. I define this behavior of the indicator as a signal about a possible reversal of quotations and, as a consequence, their decline. Then, let's pay attention to our rune. Its blue line is at the level of 100, which is on the one hand predicting further growth of quotations, but its red line is still very high and is between the levels of 50 and 70, which in turn can tell us that there is the probability of a decline in quotations in present. Again, if we consider these indicators separately, then options are possible, and if their data are added together, then a reduction becomes the most promising rate. And look, the trade is completed and I get another $270. When you understand what's happening on the chart, it is not difficult to profit from it. But as I said above, it is necessary to observe the quotation chart. You cannot even open trades at the beginning, but only observe the behavior of the chart and indicator signals. And when you can predict the direction of quotes based on data from indicators, you can safely start opening trades. What else can I recommend you? Study the work of several indicators. No more than 4 are enough. But their signals would be clear to you, and then trading will be an easy way for you to earn money and not an unexplored jungle. And yes, it is absolutely not necessary to try to understand the work of absolutely all the indicators that are available to PocketOption. This, in the future, can only confuse you. It will be more effective to use only a few, while it is desirable to combine trend indicators and oscillators on the chart, or as they are also called, impulse ones. You see such a combination now with me. Continuing to trade, I open another trade to move lower for $300. Expiration is 1 minute. Here you should have noticed that the quotes after reaching the upper limit of the Donchian indicator began a downward correction, which is already a signal of a possible price reduction. Then, the Williams percent range indicator, its line, despite the growth of quotations relative to the local minimum, occupied a horizontal position, which I determined as a signal also about a possible decline in quotations. It turns out that the second source is already talking about a likely decline. We go further. The iron indicator, on the one hand, did not give clear signals, but at the same time its blue line is moving down and is below the level of 70, which I determined as a low probability for the continuation of the uptrend. That's how the data set brought another $270, as you can see, nothing complicated. But with this, our today's trading session ends, and I want to know its results. In 8 minutes of real time, I made 5 successful trades that brought me $1,350. A nice result. Today, once again, I showed you what to pay attention to when working with indicators, giving special attention to the use of indicators by combining their data. I hope this point is clear to you, and you will be able to easily enter trades and make a profit from independent trading. But then again, it is essential that you carefully assess the current market situation before entering a trade. By and large, I recommend you to use the indicators whose signals you can read, and for this helps reduce the risk and make a profit in the long term. I would like to encourage you guys to keep trading binary options because, as we can see, the analysis techniques are super simple here. And before we say goodbye, in the description below this video, you will find a link to my Telegram channel, where you can ask me any questions you have. You will also find a link to my private Telegram channel there, where I share my daily trading signals and more. If you direct message me on my private Telegram channel, you will receive a personal link to the PocketOption registration, which will give you a whopping 50% bonus to your deposit for free. Now, dear friends, this is a pretty nice offer. And I do hope you found this video helpful. Thank you for being with me all this time. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, please like it, subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. That's about all for today. Good luck in the market. Take care, folks, and see you soon in the next video.